Hi everybody, welcome to Shell Lectures. So today we'll be dealing with colloidal solution. So first of all, we must know about the classification which was made by Thomas Graham. So what classification Thomas Graham made was, he classified substances based on their diffusion into the parchment membrane or animal membrane, parchment paper or animal membrane. Based on the diffusion of substances through this membrane, he classified substances into two types. They are crystalloid substances and colloids. But at a later date, this classification turned out to be false because NaCl behaved as a crystalloid in the aqueous medium, but the same NaCl in benzene medium behaved as a colloid. So one substance could behave in two kinds in two different conditions. So this classification was proved to be false at a later date. So if we compare the true solid suspensions and colloids, we can come to a conclusion with this table. So the nature of true solution is homogeneous, that is, the particles mix up with each other and no differentiation can be made between the components of the solution. Whereas for suspension it's heterogeneous, that is, the particles can be distinguished, whereas for colloidal it appears to be homogeneous but it is actually heterogeneous. Particle size, when we talk about the particle size, for true solution it is less than 1 nanometer, for suspension it's greater than 100 nanometer, and for colloid it's 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. So for true solution it's less than 1 nanometer, colloid 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer, and suspension greater than 100 nanometer. Sedimentation is that the true solution does not settle. Suspension settles when we heat it, that is when standing, and colloidal solution does not settle. Diffusion, in true solution diffusion occurs very quickly, very rapid diffusion occurs in true solution. In suspension it's not at all able for suspension to get diffused, whereas in colloidal solution diffusion process occurs slowly. What about the visibility? In true solution, as it's a homogeneous solution, particles are never visible, so they are completely invisible. Whereas in suspension, particles they are visible either to the naked eye or to microscope, or if we view it under microscope, we can see the particles. And in colloidal solution, we see a particular phenomenon which is exhibited by the colloidal particles, that is Tyndall effect. Okay, so they scatter light. The phenomenon by which the colloidal particles scatter light is known as Tyndall effect. So they scatter light and they can be observed only under ultra microscope. What about filtrability? That is, they can be passed through filter paper or not, or animal membrane or not. True solution of course can be passed through animal membrane and filter paper. Suspension cannot be passed through animal membrane and filter paper, whereas colloidal solution can be passed through filter paper, but through animal membrane it's not possible. Appearance, true solution is transparent, colloidal is translucent, and suspension is opaque. So this is the comparison which has been made between true solutions, colloids and suspensions. Now we have to know the definitions of two terms, dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So in a colloidal solution there are two kinds of substances which are present. They are dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Dispersed phase is what is dispersed in the colloidal solution, the substance which is distributed as colloidal particles. For example, if we take a solution of copper in water, then copper is the one which is dissolved in water. So copper becomes the dispersed phase, and the dispersion medium is the medium in which the dispersion has taken place. That is, the copper has been dispersed in water. So water is the dispersion medium here. Okay. So a lot of classifications have been made based on dispersed phase and dispersion medium. The first classification is based on their physical state. So this is very important. The dispersed phase gas and the dispersion medium liquid. The type of colloid which is obtained is foam. And if it's gas and the dispersion medium is solid, solid foam is obtained. And if it's liquid in dispersed phase and gas in dispersion medium, liquid aerosol is prepared. And if it is liquid emulsion, liquid solid gel, solid gas smoke, solid liquid sol, and solid solid sol. So this is the type of colloidal solution which is formed, and examples have been given at last. For foam, the examples are soda water, shaving cream, and for solid foam it's cork, foam rubber. Liquid aerosol it's fog, clouds. Emulsion, milk, hair cream. And for gel we have butter, cheese curd, smoke, dust, sol, ink, and solid salt, ruby glass. So here we don't have one classification, that is gas in gas. Gas in gas colloidal solution can never be formed because gas when dissolved in another gas immediately produces a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so here the word sol is very important. Solid in liquid, sol. Actually there are a lot of sols which can be prepared. If the dispersion medium is water, the sol obtained is known as hydrosol. If the dispersion medium is benzene, then the sol is known as benzosol. And if it's alcohol, alkosol. And if it's air, aerosol. Now we must know about emulsions. Emulsions, as we saw in the previous slide, are liquid colloids. So they are of two types, oil dispersed in water and water dispersed in oil. Okay, so oil dispersed in water type is nothing but water is the dispersion medium and oil is the dispersed phase. So the very good example is milk, in which the dispersed phase is, oil in water type doesn't mean that oil is dispersed phase, but water is dispersion medium for sure. And the example is milk, in which liquid fat is the dispersed phase, and the other example is vanishing cream. Water in oil type examples are butter, cold cream and cod liver oil. Out of these, cod liver oil is important. And here emulsions are actually not very stable. Okay, they are not very stable, they actually separate because oil and water do not mix with each other at all. So often they separate. So to stabilize these emulsions, an agent has to be added which is known as emulsifying agent. The agent which must be added to emulsions to stabilize it is known as emulsifying agent, which forms an interfacial film between the dispersed phase and the dispersion medium. It forms an interfacial film. And examples with oil water type are proteins, gums and soaps. Emulsifying agents for oil water types are proteins, gums and soaps. And for water oil type are long chain alcohol, lamp black, heavy metal salts or fatty acids. Okay, so emulsifying agent is nothing but an agent which is added to stabilize the emulsions by forming an interfacial film between the dispersed phase and the dispersion medium. Now the next thing is gel. Gel is nothing but a jelly-like colloid which is obtained by the dispersion of liquid in solid. So there are two types of gels, elastic and non-elastic. Elastic, the word itself says it's very elastic, so it can be just twisted and something can be done and it can be brought to its original position again. Whereas non-elastic is very rigid, elasticity is completely absent. Elastic gels example, gelatin, starch and soaps. Non-elastic example, silica gel. Actually it's prepared by some chemical methods, that's why it turns out to be rigid. And the thing which we use to prepare silica gel is concentrated hydrochloric acid and sodium silicate, which you can see from the slide. Concentrated hydrochloric acid and sodium silicate. So the properties of gels are that they can be hydrated. So a dehydrated gel can be regenerated to its original form by hydrating it. And swelling, imbibition, that is nothing but when water is imbibed by the gel, its volume increases. Okay. A dehydrated gel when immersed in water imbibes water into it and increases the volume of the gel. And then we have syneresis, in which inorganic gels on standing, that is on heating, they lose water and shrink. Okay, so the inorganic gels when heated they shrink by losing water. And then we have thixotropy, which is actually an interchange between gel to liquid and liquid to gel and gel to liquid by means of agitation. This transformation takes place. Okay, so this is how the physical state of dispersion medium and dispersed phase, based on that the colloidal solutions are being classified. Okay, so we will meet in the next video with the next topic. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so far. Like and share this video to whomever you know. Thank you so much for watching.